So the next kit in the June pot kits is the white lavender planter kit. Now this comes with one of my absolute favourite pots. It's the 25 centimetre scalloped pot. So it has this beautiful sort of scalloped edging around the top, and its matching saucer, and it's just a lovely size, versatile pot to have in the kitchen, on an island, on a sideboard, kitchen table, but also outside. You know, if you're hosting friends and family, you know, it makes a beautiful sort of centerpiece for your outside space. So in your kit, for your white planter kit, you will receive your pot, your compost gravel moss, and your 3 white lavender plants. So to begin with, after you've popped your pot on its saucer, you simply add in all the gravel that is in your kit, and then with just a small layer of compost, maybe a couple of handfuls, just on top of the gravel. And now you can start popping in your plants. So give them a good drink when you receive them. And then sort of add them in a sort of triangle shape. And then what you can do as well is sort of almost tilt them slightly, sort of pointing outwards, and you'll get a really nice sort of shape and angle of your lavender. It just smells incredible. And I think I've said before, it has white lavender has a sort of I know that lavender obviously is part of the mint family anyway, but it definitely has a real sort of minty lavender kind of scent to it. And then you simply add in the compost into the gaps, the sort of 3 gaps in between your plants. And then gently compress that down. So again, making sure you're happy with the sort of placement of your plants. And then once you've added in all your compost, you can then start layering on your moss. So you'll have 3 different types of moss, the sphagnum, the flat, and the bun moss. And again, you know, it's completely up to you how you do it, whether you do a mixture or just little touches of one. I'm going to do a mixture, and then you simply pop your moss in the gaps where you can see the compost. It has a really sort of important job, the moss, in that not only does it aesthetically look lovely and it finishes the potting off really nicely, but it also prevents sort of really quick evaporation of the water from the soil when it's really sort of warm and dry outside or in the home. So it should keep the soil sort of damp for longer. Now, much like the purple lavender kit, which is the English lavender, sorry, in terms of care for white lavender, there's sort of 2 key components to the care and how you'll enable your lavender to thrive indoors especially. So number 1 is it needs to be placed somewhere really sunny. Lavender loves a lot of sunlight. So, you know, on a south-facing windowsill is perfect. That's where mine is at the moment. And it's just started to flower. Or on a kitchen table in a south-facing room. I personally would avoid sort of a north or northwest facing sort of aspect. I just don't think, you could obviously try it, but I just don't think it would quite get the sunlight that it needs. But see how you go. If there's a place that you really want to keep it, just see how you go, keep an eye on it, and then you can always move it if you need to. So the second pointer, after obviously keeping it in a nice sunny spot, is to not overwater. So a preferable sort of watering system would be to give it a good drenching, let the water run through to the saucer, tip out the excess water so that you know that the roots aren't going to be sat in sort of stagnant water, which is what causes root rot, which they really don't like, and more than likely will kill your plants. So don't let it sit in water. A really good drenching, and then the time you need to water next would be when the top inch of soil is kind of dry and you feel that, you know, it's looking a bit, you know, the soil feels dry, but it's not sort of completely dried out, because that will also kill it as well. It's a fine line, but once you get the hang of kind of knowing when it feels, oh yeah, I reckon now is time, good drench, and then leave it. Trying to think of anything else. That's really it. Once your flowers have bloomed and they've gone over, you can deadhead, which will encourage new blooms. So you just cut it down to the first set of leaves that the dead flower is on, and then that will encourage the blooms underneath to grow and to bloom. And I think that is about it. So that is your white lavender planter kit.